Hey guys, it's Christina Tierney here. I just finished up with, hello Chris Heuer, say hi. We just finished up with our first social media club Palm Beach County meeting. Mark, would you behave? Mark is dancing over there, so silly. Anyway, we just had our first meeting, it was kickoff, and we had let everybody know that Chris Heuer was coming into town, who is a self-proclaimed, not a rock star, but in social media circles, it's an honor to be with him. I met Chris Heuer back in 2007 at Blog Orlando 2007, where he and Christy were just getting the social media club off the ground. I think I'm one of the first that joined as a professional member.
We started the professional members in early 07, mid 07.
Yeah, and I got my T-shirt. I got my sticker.
Took a while.
It's cool. I was very patient. It's an excellent organization and dedicated to promoting social media, the responsible form of social media, and educating folks on really what it is, and if you get it, share it.
Yes.
The basis. I asked Chris, Chris, you brought it up tonight. We talked about social media, where it's going, at a crossroads. And you guys are doing some great things with Social Media Club, and I was hoping that he could elaborate a little bit more, so I'm going to just kind of focus on Chris and move on.
I had a great answer before that is no longer in my head. Do you remember what I said? I did. I had a great answer.
Well, you were talking about...
I hate pre-interviews.
No, this
I
is
never
not
want
a
to do pre-interviews.
This is not a pre-interview.
It's profound.
This is not a pre-interview.
Okay.
What we were talking about was...
Social media douchebags.
They were definitely social media douchebags.
We were talking about that a little bit.
Talking about the fact that you were seeing a lot of people pop up and say that they're social media experts and consultants.
Yeah, so is everyone, yeah.
And hurting those that may be trying to find a way to leverage social media platforms as tools.
Well, the worst is they're hurting the clients, right? And they're saying they know how to do something that they've never done.
Right.
And, there's always something about somebody being paid to learn on your dime.
Right.
Which is kind of a problem, and it's the emerging thing, you do that. But we're doing a lot more to put the spotlight on the things that matter,
right,
and the people who are doing good works. And so we've got a new site coming up that will promote the members and have an ability for us to collaboratively publish. And there'll be a speakers directory, a good local directory, and a lot of other pieces to it. But there's something else we were talking about.
I think, I'm going to steal from Murray, maybe. The difference, if you had to choose one.
Feel free, I'm stealing this video.
I know you are. I know we're all videotaping at once. It brings to mind a lot of different things.
Where am I looking?
There we go.
Previous life.
There we go. But the thing is that we talked about, if you had to, we brought up the idea of, is social media really... Hi, he made me turn it to me. Right? Is social media really the word? Is that the term? Is that the definition? Is it become more than just social media? Murray was asking me a minute ago. Don't start. I'm stealing it. Is it, if you had
cutthroat media business?
This is terrible. This is so down and dirty. If you had to choose between, is it social or is it media, what would you choose? So Murray, you'll get it here too. He was going to ask it anyway. So if you had to choose between the social or the media, he made me choose, so you have to choose.
Well, if you go to slideshare.net/Chris Heuer and pull up my What is Social Media presentation, and, it's both. That's the whole point. But again, the biggest challenge is people don't understand it's more of what we do than what it is.
I agree.
The media represents the object. The social represents what's different about it.
Right.
But it's really about being social through media, or socializing the media, sharing it, what we're doing.
The two-way communication.
But it's more than that, because there's an angle. Two ways just interacting.
Okay.
So this is beyond that. It's about actually being social. It's being mindful of the person on the other side. So,
right.
I just wrote a blog post before I came to the meeting about the end of marketing. And the problem is marketing isn't real. It's all fake. And so, we know that human voice when we hear it.
Right.
And I think you were mentioning about the child,
yes,
the kid who knows when he's being advertised to.
Yeah.
Somebody brought that up tonight. Murray did. Your son or something?
Someone I know.
So this kid knows, 6 years old, knows what he's being advertised to. We all do.
Oh,
instinctively,
totally.
we know. But for some reason, we continue to tolerate it. And, what we have to realize is this isn't some faceless corporation that's doing this. These are people. These are humans making these decisions. That's right. And it's not right anymore. Right. We really have to think about a different way of doing it. And it's not so much what we do to other people, it's what we can do with other people.
Right.
And this idea of what we can do collaboratively together. And there's so much power in that, because as soon as you build up trust with a market,
right,
and you have that trust, you can lose it really easily, of course, but that is the most invaluable currency It's the most invaluable resource. It's what gives them. It's the difference between a customer giving you the next big idea versus them giving it to your competitor.
Right.
Because they saw something that they needed. And if they trust you and they like you, they'll come and they'll say, hey, did you guys think of this? But if they don't, they're going to be like, and go on their way.
Right.
So how do we build up more trust? And one of the ways we do that is by empowering our people. So I think one of the big keys to social media success, or maybe it's better to say success in the era of social media, is actually social engineering. It's actually what we do with our culture inside the company more so than anything else. Because if the people inside are prepared and empowered to be an advocate for your brand and your company in line at the bank as much as at a dinner party with friends, now we're getting really deep impact.
Right.
And broad.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I've been doing a little bit of a web series around engaging employees at major corporations. When you talk about taking the talent that's already there, and we're looking at a lot of people being without a job. When you look at, maybe 2/3 of a corporation being laid off, who do you have left? You have people exhausted, maybe overworked, picking up the pieces. You just touched on that whole piece of empowering and engaging those left, and then they become the brand ambassadors.
Well, there's actually, I'm going to take you on a slightly different angle only because it's so important.
Why not? Let's go.
I was facilitating a World Cafe with some CEOs a couple weeks ago, and the topic came up of why can't we still find anyone to hire?
Really?
And why can't they find good people to hire?
Even though there's all these people out of work.
Because there's all these people out of work, and the answer is very simple. A lot of good people got let go because of restructuring and different challenges with the market or the company not set up right. Mostly leadership problems that were finally being surfaced after a long time.
Right.
But a lot of the people who got let go was that 10% that Jack Welch fires every year and that most companies don't.
Wow.
But the real thing to notice about the economy and the labor market in particular over the last couple of years is all the smart people left on their own.
Yeah.
Because they got tired with their bullshit inside the company.
Right.
And in fact, when I brought this up, they were like, huh? And then I'm like, wait a second. How many consultants do you have who you're paying 5x salary, who are former employees, who you had to let go of because you didn't have headcount?
Right.
So it's costing you more to create an artificial level of how many employees you can have rather than focusing on how many people we need to do the job.
Right.
And so, they've basically lost all the best and brightest people to independence because we can make a better living. We can live on our own terms.
Right.
We can mix our social and our professional lives without anyone giving us crap for it.
Right.
And we can live happy. And if you can live happy, why would you live inside a cubicle chained to a desk?
Wow.
So all the smartest talent's already left.
It's excellent. Well, this has been a great night. It's been a culmination of 2 years for me at least of hoping to get this off the ground in Palm Beach County.
Congratulations, it's so
thank
cool.
you, Chris, and thanks everybody.
And let me just say, the only way that social media clubs work is by us doing very little and telling people like her she can do a lot. Because you can. Because we did it. We had that experience very early. That, as soon as you let go of that fear that no one's going to come to my party, and you show up into that first meeting with 5 people. By the way, we had 30 some odd people.
We had 30 some odd people.
We filled every chair in the lobby.
We did.
Which was wild.
We did.
But once you get by that, action. There's, that. What's that phrase? Boldness has great action. No.
There's something
He who
there.
hesitates is lost.
Yes. He who hesitates wins. Anyways, enough babbling.
On that note, we had a great time,
Thank
and I
you
thank
so
Chris
much.
Heuer. And as I just wanted everyone to know, practice safe social media.
Yes.
Okay, Chris, one more question.
Yes.